The attorney who represents the Walmart shooter is speaking out tonight on a new plea deal from the district attorney. I sat down for a one-on-one interview with Joe Spencer today, who says the defense has been ready to resolve this case for almost 6 years. Can you talk to us about what the conversation was like with Crusius when you told him that the plea deal was on the table?
You have to understand that he's severely mentally ill and he's psychotic. So it's not like having a normal conversation with somebody. You have to also remember one thing. When I first met Patrick and I told him I was his lawyer, first thing he told me is, why do I need a lawyer? I'm guilty. Which is why, if you notice, as soon as the federal government said they weren't going to seek the death penalty, we set it for a plea immediately. As soon as the state government said they were not going to seek the death penalty, we set it for a plea immediately. We've been trying to plea this case for 5.5 years. We're not the ones that have been delaying this case. We're not the ones that brought COVID. We're not the ones that hid evidence. We're not the ones that threatened victims. We're not the ones that fabricated evidence. We're the ones that have been trying to get a resolution on this case. If you were to see the videos that we have of him where he's under surveillance and you see that he's in a catatonic state for up to 14 or 15 hours, frozen, look, just staring at a wall, not moving for 14 or 15 hours, that's just not normal behavior. But that's his broken brain that he's dealing with.
Yeah, I mean, during the federal trial, there like a lot of the time you were just like, there's no one there, and there would be moments where I guess one of the during the witness impact statements, it felt like he was being reached, like he was lucid in those few moments.
Yes.
Can you talk to me about that?
Sure. He did have a reaction with some of the victims' impact statements. You're absolutely right. He was very devastated with the victim impact statements. It was very difficult for him to listen to that because he couldn't believe he had caused that much harm. It was an awakening for him. It was like, did I do that? Yes, you did.
People are definitely gonna hear this, and I don't think they'll believe that. And there's a lot of members of the community that do want him dead. What do you have to say in response to that?
I mean, I am morally, religiously, and philosophically opposed to the death penalty. Those that want the death penalty, that believe that an eye for an eye or feel satisfaction if there's some sort of revenge factor, retribution. I mean, I'm never gonna convince them that that's not the right avenue to go down. But what do I have to say to them? There's not much that I can say to make them feel any better, because their dead set is all they want blood. If Patrick were to die from lethal injection or to die of natural causes in prison, what is the difference?
I think this is a question that everyone asks here. How do you do this? How do you represent someone who saw people that look like us and wanted you dead? How do you, I guess, find the strength to do that?
Well, that's a very good question. I go back to when I took an oath to defend the Constitution and took an oath with the Council of Judges to tell them that I would take the representation of what they gave me. I grew up a little bit as a lawyer with this case, and I've grown up with many other cases that I've done. I will tell you that at the very beginning, with my wife being from Juarez, I wasn't sure I could do it, but it was a matter of just the professionalism kicking in and knowing this is my job, this is what I have to do. And then once I got to know him, I found out it wasn't race-based, it was mental illness that caused all of this.